Yeah. Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Steven.
I'm Minnie.
Welcome to Enjoy English School. Today we're going to be covering features.
那我们今天呢要讲的是专题的特写。
So for the next two lessons, it'll be for the dates of March 17th and 18th, pages 36 to 39.
那我们接下来2天会是3月17、18，然后呢会是从36到39页。
So the title today is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly Sides of Travel.
那我们的主题是游客的面面观，奥客退散。
Right, so when we're saying like the different sides of something, sometimes we'll use the words the good, the bad, and the ugly to describe it.
那我们通常要讲事情的好坏的时候，优劣势的时候，我们就会用 good, bad, ugly 这些形容词来讲。
Okay, traveling is great, except when it becomes too popular.
旅游很棒，但是旅游变得太受欢迎的时候，就另当别论咯。
Let's get started. In 2020, it's easier than ever to travel almost anywhere in the world.
在2020年呢，要前往世界上任何地方，几乎任何地点都比过去更加的便利。
Exactly. So easier than ever before. So here they just took out the word before. So it's saying before this time, now it's easier. Okay, so in the past it was a lot harder to travel almost anywhere in the world. So not quite everywhere, right? So just almost anywhere.
那这一句话呢，它其实在跟以前做比较。以前要旅游是一件很困难的事情，但是现在 easier than ever before， 我们省略了 before 这个字。
And in 2020, actually you can say 2020, but because 2020 is a lot easier, we use that way to say it.
那在讲年份的时候，我们通常会两个一起讲嘛，但在这边2020，其实我们也可以讲成2020。
But is this really a good thing?
但是这真的是好事吗？
All right, so here you want to emphasize really, okay? So this adverb is a good way in English for us to maybe elongate or to make stronger, to kind of emphasize, is it really a good thing? So really pay attention to how you say that word. It really brings out the meaning of a sentence.
那在这边 really 当作是强调，所以你在讲这个字的时候，这个 really 这个副词做一个强调作用，就是让别人去反思，让别人去真的思考，这是不是真的是好事？
Right, and then sometimes we'll even add some facial expressions like,
Really?
Are you really sure? Okay, like that. Of course, there are plenty of good travelers.
那当然也有非常多优秀优良的游客。
Right, so here plenty of is like 足够的, right? But you could also say, of course, there are many good travelers, or of course, there are a lot of good travelers, but are plenty of is just another way to say that.
那在这边 plenty of 你又可以用 a lot of, lots of, many 这些字来做一个替代，它就是非常多的意思。
But what happens when tourists behave badly?
但是如果游客的行为不检点的时候，会发生什么样的事情呢？
So this word is a little bit difficult to say. Tourist. Okay, let's first do the singular form. Tourist. Okay, at the very end of that, it has a T. Okay, and it already has like an S sound in the end of it. Tourist. But if you want to make it plural, you just go tourists. Okay, so you make that T sound a little less heavy and just add that S sound, like an extra S sound. Not too long. You don't have to be like tourists, but tourists. To have that extra 漏气的感觉, it will help people know you're saying the plural form.
那在这边游客 tourist 这个字啊，它加了 s 之后，因为 t 跟 s 都要发音，会稍微比较难一点点，所以我们会让 t 的声音稍微变弱，然后后面 s 的声音再出来 ，tourists 就会比较让大家可以清楚的发现说，我们讲的是复数的情况。
Exactly. And then behave badly 就是有 bad behavior 的意思 ，OK， 有不好的行为。So let's take a short break. First, the worst of the worst, bagpackers.
那首先最恶劣的游客就是所谓的讨钱的背包客。
So the first thing I want to say is, in the paragraph before, it's kind of gave us an introduction that they're about to talk about bad kinds of tourists. So in this paragraph, that's why we can say first, the worst of the worst. So it's saying these are the first kinds of the bad tourists that we're going to talk about. So always remember when you're saying something in English, well, same for any language, it really has like a line of thought, 一个思维 that they follow. So it makes it easier for the audience to know what you're going to talk about next, okay?
那刚刚在第一段的时候，我们已经有提到一些恶劣的行为嘛，所以再来这一段，我们说 first 首先的时候，我们就是可以知道我们要从差的那个东西开始讲。那在这边老师也提到了，我们英文作文或英文讲话的时候要有一个逻辑跟一个次序，这样子听你讲话的人呢也会比较好，容易理解你在说什么，然后你现在讲到哪里了。
Exactly. So first, the worst of the worst. Here we could just say the worst, okay? But the worst of the worst, it really gives the listener like an even more emphasized feeling that this really is bad kind of backpackers or bad kind of tourist.
那在这边，the worst 其实就已经是最差了。但是如果我们讲 the worst of the worst， 那这样就会让听众打开耳朵就，真的，现在要讲的是真的很糟糕的情况，大家就会特别特别的注意。
And the grammar here, I could also say first, the worst of the worst are bagpackers. But here, they're using a colon, okay? So a colon is used to kind of emphasize, this is what, it's trying to introduce what is the worst of the worst. It's bagpackers. So if you think colons are hard to use, you could just use are, like a be verb there, to kind of introduce what it is.
那在这边这一个句子，它这边用的是冒号，但是我们其实可以把冒号改成 are， 它其实是一样的意思。那我们用冒号在英文里面来讲的话，就会变得比较聚焦，让别人知道我讲的这个重点就是冒号后面的这个字。
Right, and then when you're saying it, you can pause. Make sure you pause. From the worst of the worst, bagpackers, like that. Okay.
然后冒号记得讲话的时候要停顿一下，大家就会很认真的听你接下来要讲什么。
So beg, B-E-G, it means to求, okay?
祈求。
And then this is kind of a play on words from the word backpackers. And backpackers are?
背包客。
Right, so these are people who are like backpackers, 很像背包客, but they go around and they beg for things.
所以这边就玩了一个有点谐音的游戏。原本背包客的那个字，他用那个 bag 把它变成这个 bag， 然后它变成祈求的意思，所以就是讨钱的背包客啊。
So 一个是 back 背后 backpackers， 然后这个是祈求 beg， so back 跟 beg， 一个是 a， 一个是 okay? So these are two different. Sometimes it's hard for people who speak Chinese to make those sounds. Back 跟 beg, okay? A 跟 All right. They appear on sidewalks, sitting beside signs that say something like, I'm traveling without money. Please support my dream.
所以呢，他们这些人会现身在这个人行道上，坐在标示着我正在旅游但没有钱，请你支持我的梦想，然后来用这种标语来讨钱。
Right, so here it says a sign says. Sign, don't forget, even though it has G, it's silent, okay? You don't say sign, it's signs, okay? And then it doesn't really say, 它不会真的讲话, but whatever you write on a sign, in English we use the verb say to kind of say what you would read on that sign, okay? So these signs say, I'm traveling without money, so they don't have any money on them, and they're asking people to support their dream.
那在这边 sign 这个字要特别注意读音 ，G 是不发音的子音字哦。然后虽然这边不发音，但是因为我们有文字显示嘛，所以我们后面的动词还是会用 say 来形容它。
Exactly. And here, you say, because the signs don't always say, I'm traveling without money, please support my dream. That's why we use the word like. Okay, and because it's not really saying something, it's on a sign. That's why we're not using a comma and then quotations. Because if it's someone's really saying something, we'll use a comma and then quotations. It's because it's a sign like, and it's what the sign says, we'll use the colon.
那在这边我们可以看到 like 后面我们用的是冒号。正常来讲，如果是你要讲别人讲过的话，对话引用别人讲过的话，我们会用逗号，再用上引号、下引号。但这边因为我们要讲的是它的标语上面写的东西，所以我们用冒号。那因为标语上面也不一定就是确确实实这一句话嘛，对不对？所以我们这时候就放了一个 like， 可能别人会用别种方法讲，但是意思是这样子讨钱的。
Exactly. For the bagpackers, traveling with other people's money is perfectly fine.
对于这种讨钱的背包客而言呢，拿别人的钱来旅游是完全没问题的事情。
Yeah, perfectly fine. No problem whatsoever. 我曾经也被骗过, so I get really angry when I talk about backpackers.
Wow, you're such a nice guy.
Yeah, I really thought he really wanted to support his dream, so I gave him money.
Then who supports mine?
I know. Okay. So traveling with other people's money. So people, don't forget, that's a plural form of person, okay? A lot of times, a lot of my Taiwanese friends or people who speak Chinese, they think it's really confusing between person and people. Person 是一个人 P-E-R-S-O-N.
单数。
两个人以上都是 people,
复数。
P-E-O-P-L-E. Good. Okay. But doing it using their own money is entirely something else.
但是呢，如果要他们拿自己的钱来旅游呢，就完全是另外一回事了。
Right. Doing it, 这个 it 是在讲 traveling, okay? But traveling using their own money, 用他们自己钱 is entirely something else. 这个 entirely 跟 completely 是一样的意思 C-O-M-P-L-E-T-E-L-Y. Completely something else. 完全是 something else. All right. Their goal and dream is to get a free vacation paid for by random strangers.
他们的目的跟梦想就是得到由任意陌生人付钱的免费度假。
Right.
Come on.
Yeah, they just want to get a free vacation. 他们想得到一个 free vacation paid for. 所以这个 paid for 呢，虽然 for 跟 by 两个似乎看起来就是 preposition， 对不对？
Yeah.
但是这个 for 是跟 pay 在一起。paid for， 然后 paid for 被谁 pay 呢？ By random strangers， by 一些他们根本不认识的陌生人。Yeah, so next time.
All my part.
Yeah. Well,
I can tell you're very like.
Right. So this is just, it makes me so angry about people like that. But let's find out more about backpackers. Let's take a short break. All right, so now we're going to talk about the next kind of bad kind of tourist. Next in the Traveler Hall of Shame are the travel thugs.
那接下来呢，线上的是名列丢脸游客名人堂的阿爸游客来喽。
Right, so let me first explain what a Hall of Shame is, okay?
Hall of Fame.
We probably have to talk about what a Hall of Fame is. So usually when there is like a group of people and then there are people who have done really, really great things in that group, they'll usually create a Hall of Fame for these people to give them recognition, to give them fame, such as Hollywood, right? So you know that walk on Hollywood? That's a walk of fame. But because that's like a walk, usually it's like a hall of fame. A hall is like a 走廊, or it can be a big room in a big building. And in that building, you can recognize the people who've done great things, so we call that Hall of Fame. This Hall of Shame, it's like kind of a play on words, right?
Yes.
Fame and shame, they rhyme. Shame, people you need to shame are people that you need to say bad things about because they did something bad.
好，在这边呢，我们这个引号里面丢脸游客名人堂，它其实是在玩一个文字游戏，因为这个 shame 这个字跟 fame 那个名誉名声那个字其实非常的像，就有押韵嘛。那在好莱坞，我们其实有一个星光大道，对不对？那个我们就会叫它 Walk of Fame。那其实那个 walk 其实就有点像那个 hall， 就是一个走道的意思，所以它其实是在玩这个文字游戏，把所谓的荣誉把它改成丢脸的意思。
Right, and here we're emphasizing it's not like Hollywood Walk of a Hall of Fame, it's the Traveler Hall of Fame. And because this isn't really an official term or official name, so that's why we have the quotations around it.
那因为我们是玩文字游戏嘛，对不对？世界上真的其实没有这种什么丢脸游客名人堂，所以我们这边用上引号下引号夸起来，就代表我们创了这个东西。
Right, in English, a lot of times you use this way,
强调
yeah, to emphasize things that don't really exist, but when we say it, people know exactly what we're trying to say.
Yep.
Okay, so what are thugs? Thugs are people who are very violent, like kind of like, what is it in Chinese?
阿爸
Or 土匪, right?
土匪, yeah.
And they're usually criminals, okay? So travel thugs. So who are travel thugs? You can spot them by their signature call. Well, in my country, we do things a little differently.
所以呢，我们这边讲到了这些阿爸的游客嘛，对不对？那这些游客，你可以借由他们的招牌口号来发现他们的踪迹。例如，像他们常常会说， 在我的国家，我们做这个事情的方法不一样哦。
So you can spot them. 为什么用 spot 这个 verb? You can say you can see them. Okay. Spot is like in a lot, and within a lot of people, within a lot of things, you can see
就是
them.
看到他，
Yeah, you can
聚焦
pinpoint
在他身上。
Exactly. You can spot them by their signature call. 你说是招牌的
口号。
口号. Call here is a 口号. It's kind of like when an animal makes a noise. It's a call, right? So what do they say? And then here you have to use a very like cocky, conceited attitude. Well, in my country, 你看强调那个 my, 在我的国家, we do things a little differently. Okay, 我们. So when you want to emphasize those certain words, 你就是强调那个意思, right?
Yeah.
All right. They have little interest in experiencing the local culture.
他们对于体验当地文化就是兴趣缺缺，没有兴趣啊。
Right. Having interest in something 就是你对
有兴趣。
Exactly. 你对那个东西有兴趣. So they have little interest in experiencing the local culture. What is local culture?
当地的文化。
Exactly. Like if you go to Taiwan for the first time, if you don't even eat any of the street food or you don't try stinky tofu and you go, ew, so gross, then you're not really trying local culture. What they really want is for the local culture to adapt to them.
他们真的想要的是当地的文化去适应他们。
Right. They don't want to change for the local culture.
他们不想
They
改
want the
变。
local culture to adapt to them. So when we use the verb adapt, 适应, we have to behind that. Okay, adapt to them. 那如果是我要适应这个 environment, 我要怎么讲?
I adapt to the environment.
Exactly. Okay, so 适应的东西是放在后面，然后要加个 to 哦 Okay? And let's not even get started on Instagram influencers.
那我们就更别开始提到这个在 Instagram 上面所谓的网红了。
对，所以你刚刚有听到 Minnie 老师有个对不对？我们每次讲 let's not even get started on， 还是我们有的时候会说 don't get me started on， 然后讲后面的这个部分。为什么会用这个片语来讲呢？就是 it's trying to emphasize that this is something I get really angry about, and when I start talking about this, I'm not going to be able to stop. So don't get me started on Instagram influencers.
所以在这边 get started on 什么东西啊？通常我们就是在讲我们特别不喜欢、特别气愤。老师刚刚已经有讲了特别气愤的事情。如果我们讲了、开始了这个话题，我们就会滔滔不绝，一直想要讲下去，然后一直想要批评他，一直想要放一些我们的想法在这个 topic 上面，所以我们才会有这样子的一个讲法，其实是非常好的一个讲法 ，right?
Yeah, exactly. So, who are people who influence? So, influence, this verb in Chinese is
影响。
Exactly. So, people who are 有影响, people who influence on Instagram are people in Chinese who we call
网红。
网红, right? So here it's kind of being sarcastic about it. Oh, these influencers. Even though there really are some Instagram influencers, we're about to talk about some influencers who aren't really influencers, they're just really bad tourists.
对，那在这边我们用了引号，其实是有点反讽的语气，因为有一些当然也有好的网红，但我们这边要特别提到的是那些所谓可能比较阿爸一点、比较霸道一点的网红。
These stars will go over, under, and through anything, even signs clearly marked no trespassing, just to get that perfect shot for the gram.
那这些所谓的明星啊，这些网红会把一切都越过、穿过、钻过、通过，即使是上头已经明确写着不得擅自闯入的标示也一样哦，因为他们做这些事情就是为了要拍到最美丽的 IG 照片。
Right, so here we're saying they're stars because they're not really celebrities or famous people, right? But they think they are. They'll go over, under, and through anything. 他们什么都会去做 anywhere, right? Over, under, anything. And then even though the sign 可能有个招牌 clearly marks 它虽然已经被就是标签是 no trespassing 就是 don't go through 不能经过，可是为了要一个好的照片 just to get 只是为了，所以这个 just to get 就是只是为了 that perfect shot， 那 perfect shot 就是好的照片，
对，
right?
就是完美的照片。
And here is 我最后要讲的东西。
For the
In
gram.
Chinese, we always say
IG,
right? And in America, we never say IG. If we want to make Instagram shorter, we say the gram.
Oh, the gram.
Right, and then because we took Insta out, we have to put an apostrophe in front of gram to show that we made it shorter. So for the gram, not for IG. Okay, so let's go into the review. Right, so when I say there are plenty of good travelers, what do I mean?
那就代表我们有很多的好的游客。
Right, so you can also say a lot of good travelers, okay? So don't forget, if you use plenty, we have to use the word of behind it. Plenty of good travelers. Okay, so who are tourists?
就是游客。
Okay, and if I say that this is entirely my money, what does that mean?
就是完全完整的都是我的钱。
对, you can also use the word completely, right? Okay, so what is the Hall of Shame? What does shame mean?
就是所谓丢脸名人堂 ，shame 就是丢脸的意思。
Okay, so what's the actual thing? Hall of what?
Fame.
Right, 名气, right? Hall of Fame. So what is a signature call or signature move?
就是你的招牌动作，你的招牌口号。
Exactly. And if I have little interest in something, what do I mean?
就代表我对这个东西没有兴趣。
Right, so 对那个东西没有兴趣要加一个 n 哦。So little interest 没有很少兴趣 in something. Don't forget that preposition. Then if I say that I'm adapting to something, what does that mean?
就代表我在适应这个东西。
Okay, so if I'm adapting to the local culture.
那就代表我适应当地的文化。
Right, and then 我即将要讲一个我不想讲的东西，我会说let's not get started, or let's not even get started on this.
就真的不要让我开始讲这件事情。
And then also we say IG in Taiwan, but it's actually Instagram, or in America we might call it the
Gram.
Exactly, the gram. All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
第36页专题特写旅游面面观奥客退散
The good, the bad, and the ugly sides of travel. In 2020, it's easier than ever to travel almost anywhere in the world. But is this really a good thing? Of course, there are plenty of good travelers. But what happens when tourists behave badly? First, the worst of the worst, bagpackers. They appear on sidewalks, sitting beside signs that say something like, I'm traveling without money. Please support my dream. For the bagpackers, traveling with other people's money is perfectly fine. But doing it using their own money is entirely something else. Their goal and dream is to get a free vacation paid for by random strangers. Next in the Traveler Hall of Shame are the travel thugs. You can spot them by their signature call. Well, in my country, we do things a little differently. They have little interest in experiencing the local culture. What they really want is for the local culture to adapt to them. And let's not even get started on Instagram influencers. These stars will go over, under, and through anything, even signs clearly marked no trespassing, just to get that perfect shot for the gram.